Okay, second graders, today you're going to do lesson 12-3, non-unit fractions and regions. Make sure your name is at the top. Okay, you can just watch on this one because we already did it back at the back table. But I'm going to break this hexagon into 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I know that I have 6 equal parts. I'm going to color some of those green. Okay, if I wanted to write the fraction for this hexagon up here, I am going to look at how many parts are green. Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts that are green. So that is going to be how many parts are green, and that's going to go on the top. The number colored in is always on top. Out of how many equal parts? That's every single part that is chopped up or cut up. So that's including the shaded parts. Let's count those, including the green parts, all parts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 equal parts because they're all the same. So that's 4 out of 6. If I were to write that fraction and talk about how much of that shape is green, I'd say 4/6 is green. 4/6 of this shape is green. I could do that again, and I could look at it this way. Okay. Now what do I have? Remember, I'm going to do parts that are green over how many parts in all, the equal parts. Well, there's 1 part that's green out of 1, 2 parts in all. So 1 out of 2 is green. How do I say that? Do you guys remember? Do I say 1 tooth? No, I'm not talking about you're going to the dentist. It's 1/2. Half is green. Remember, you did not have to write this. It's your turn to go to the inside. Remember, you can pause and rewind whenever you need to if you miss something or if I'm going too fast. All right, let's get started. All right, second graders, same thing as we did on the front. Write the fraction for the shaded part of the shape. Remember, it's always parts that are colored in over how many parts in all, the equal parts. So let's look at this. If I'm looking at number 1, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 parts that are blue. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 8 equal parts. So if I were going to write this, I put my parts that are blue over, so don't forget that line because that tells me that it's a fraction, over 8. And if I were to say that, I'd say 4/8 of the shape is blue. 4/8 is blue. Number 2, how many parts are green? I have 1, 2 parts that are green out of how many parts that are equal? This one's equal to this one, and there are 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. So 3 equal parts. To write that fraction, I write 2 parts are green out of 3 total or equal parts, 2/3. Number 3, how many parts are yellow? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 parts are yellow out of how many equal parts? Let me count them, all of them, including the shaded or the colored part. So yellow and white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of 6 equal parts. 5 over 6 is yellow. 5/6 of those squares are yellow. That means 5 out of 6 of those squares are yellow. Only 1 is not. Do you understand Does this shape show 3/4 shaded? How do you know? Well, there's 1, 2, 3 that are shaded, but then there's this big one. Are they equal? No. If they were equal, it'd look more like this, right? Well, that doesn't show 3/4. That shows 3, 4, 5, 6, 3/7. So, no. And you can write this, pause if you need to, because there aren't equal parts. That's a contraction. 2 words put together to make one. And I'll move this so you can see it better. This is a Q. Parts. Period. If they were equal, then maybe. All right, go to the next slide. All right, second graders, you're going to write the fraction for the shaded part of the shape. Remember, the number on top is the colored in parts. The number on the bottom is the number of equal parts. Number of parts in all. Number on top, colored parts. Number on bottom, all the parts. Number on top, colored parts. Number on bottom, that's all the parts. So let's look at number 4. I'm going to do that one with you real quick. How many parts are colored? That goes on top. There are 1, 2, 3. So 3 parts are colored out of how many parts in all? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 parts altogether. So 3/4 of the fraction is blue. Number 5, how many parts are colored? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 parts out of how many parts in all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 5/9. Look at number 6. How many parts are blue out of how many parts in all? All the colors, white and blue. 7. How many parts are yellow out of how many parts in all? Go ahead and do 8 and 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, the number on the bottom should always be bigger than the number on top. All right, let's look at number 13. Shade to complete the pattern. Here's my hint to you. 1 is shaded, 2 is shaded, 3 is shaded. How many are going to be shaded now? 1, 2, 3. What comes next? How many are you going to shade green? 1, 2, 3, blank. Think about counting. So, go ahead and go to the back. Solve the problems below. Number 14, Jeff cuts a paper plate into 4 equal parts. He uses 2 parts for an art project. Show how he cuts the plate, shade how much he uses, and then write that fraction. So you're going to cut it into 4 equal parts. 1, there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he uses 2. So you're going to show me how you're going to show 2 being used. Then write the fraction here. Remember, number colored in on top over the number in all. So the number on the bottom should be 4. Number 15, Miss Fan plants her garden in 6 parts. She plants flowers in 2 parts. Which shows the parts of the garden with flowers? So she has a garden with 6 in all, but she only plants in 2 of those parts. Which one shows 2 parts of her garden planted with 6 parts in all? And number 16, write a story about more than one equal part of a shape. Then draw a picture to go with your story. You can cross off 16. When you are done, get it checked by an adult, then take it home. If there is no adult to check it, then go ahead and turn it into the turn-in basket. If you are my group that has not met with the teacher yet, save it until you meet with the teacher. We'll go over it